Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Mr. Davenport, and today we are going to be talking about water quality. Not a drop to drink. We're going to understand the impact that water quality has on sustaining life. So, let's start things off with a bit of an exercise. Now, all right, so what I want us to think about are we've got two glasses of water. Okay, in front of the class, you'll see two glasses of water, water A and water B. And when you hear go, I want you to take 30 seconds and write down two similarities and two differences between the glasses of water. Okay, so you need two similarities and two differences. So now, I want you to be able to basically talk about what these differences are later on in the week. So you need to write these down. Two similarities, two differences. So we've got 30 seconds starting now. I'm going to close my camera for 30 seconds, zoom in, let you guys see what we've got. Halfway there. So, guys, we've got these two different waters. We've got water A and water B. I want you to think about and collect as much information as you feel necessary to understand the similarities between the two glasses and the differences between the two glasses. So, today we're going to talk about water quality, okay? And what we mean by water quality is it's not only how water impacts humans, it's how it impacts plants and animals. So now we need to focus on what are the important details regarding water quality. Let's look at the water again, okay? So a lot of you are probably thinking, well, water B is definitely the least desirable out of the two waters. Water A is pristine and clean and pretty. It looks very drinkable. And water B is, well, it's got stuff in it. It looks dirty. You can see particles. It doesn't look clean. Okay, it doesn't look great. And so a lot of us probably came to the conclusion that water B is the less desirable. And so basically, because the water isn't able to be see-through, it leads to us thinking that water A is the better quality water. Well, what if I told you that water B was just going to be water that we were going to use to wash our car? Or if it was just water that we were going to basically water plants with. That kind of changes your opinion of the water because you're no longer thinking about it being something that we're going to drink and use. It changes it into something that's going to be used for a different purpose. Because it changes the purpose, the quality of the water changes. Now, a lot of you are probably going to say, well, I still don't want to wash my car with that dirty water. But it basically really makes us think about how we use water and the quality of that water for that purpose. So, guys, an overwhelming response of you basically saying that you would want to drink water A. And so if water B is undesirable simply because of how clear it is, then imagine coming home from school one day. You had a hot bus ride home, you had a hot car ride home, you had gym the last period, and you basically go to the sink, you open up the cold water tap, you fill up the, and without thinking, and because you always do that to get a glass of water, and you turn on the cold water, and all of a sudden you're seeing water that looks like water B coming out of your kitchen sink. Okay? And so, can't. Now, think about that. Okay? If the water that you are drinking looks like water B, and you have no control over the water that you have access to, that can impact your quality of life. And now, so when you pick up a glass, and so now let's go take this further, okay? If the clarity and cleanliness and quality of water can impact the quality of life, well, then let's get a working definition of water quality. Okay, guys, you're going to want to write this down. All right? Water quality is the condition of water for a particular use. Okay? So with drinking water, we would want it to be really clear, free of microbes, free of hard minerals like lead and nickel. We want it to be free of particle pollutants. And so, but if we were using similar water for another purpose, like say for our toilets, for our sewer, we could probably forgive less, we could probably forgive the water being a little less quality because of the purpose that's being used for. Okay? But we also have to think that if the quality of water affects the quality of life, then the overall impact of good water has a large branching effect. So the way that people use and abuse water affect its quality. Humans make mistakes and cause erosion. We accidentally add chemicals to water, may not filter it properly. We may dispose of nasty things inappropriately, and that causes pollution, which can affect water quality. But beyond just people, natural occurrences like weather, earthquakes, floods, storms, hurricanes, these affect water quality as well by causing very similar issues, by bringing in things that don't necessarily need to go into our water cycle and system. And so water gets affected and water quality gets affected by both humans and by nature. So we're back at looking at the impact of water and water quality. So remember, if the quality of water impacts the quality of life, then what are our problems? What are the noticeable differences between these two plants? These are both corn plants, okay? So they're both fields of corn. So let's take 30 seconds and I'm going to disappear, and I want you guys to think about what are some of the differences that you see. Halfway there. So, some of the things that you may have noticed that are differences between these plants are, well, first, our corn that has an appropriate access to water, quality water. It has continuous growth. All the leaves look even, they're all green, they're all wide. There's no difference in a lot of those plants. There's an even continuous growth because they have access to both an appropriate amount of water and appropriate quality of water. Also, they have healthy ears of corn. The plant can produce healthier fruit because it has better quality water. And it has a lush green color. That means that the plant is getting what it needs. The nutrients that's pulling up from the soil, the water is helping transport that throughout the entire plant. The unseen effect of water quality is appropriate and proper nutrient uptake for plants. So, what you guys may have saw and things you may have noticed for lack of appropriate access to water is uneven and slow growth. Some of these plants are shorter than the others. That means that that plant didn't have enough water or got too much of the bad quality water, and it stunted the growth of the plant. It gave us smaller ears of corn. That means smaller amounts of fruit, okay? A smaller harvest, all because it does not have access to appropriate water quality. And the first thing you noticed was the discoloration, the leaf burn, the yellowing of the plant. That's because oftentimes when plants have low water quality, it has extra salts and other nutrients in it that the plant can't use, or too much of a certain nutrient, and it causes the plant to burn. It kills things on the inside because the plant tries to store this nutrient and it winds up basically drying the plant out because there's too much of it. The unseen effects of improper water quality is an interference with how nutrients get taken up into the plant, and it causes nutrient deficiencies. It basically, too much of one nutrient keeps the plant from taking up the nutrients that it needs and causes deficiencies in the plant, so it makes the plant less healthy. Remember, quality of the quality of water affects the quality of life. So let's do the same thing with these two animals, okay? One has appropriate access to water quality. One has a lack of access to appropriate water quality. Let's take another 30 seconds and see what you guys think. Write down what you see. All right, so you see that our animal on the left, he is a well-muscled animal. He has a healthier overall appearance. Some of the things that we might see is that he also has a free access to food. He has appropriate feed intake. And so these are all things that if the animal has access to quality water, he's going to be healthier because it's going to balance out the nutrients that he's able to take in. Now, with our poor cow on the right, it's a very lean animal. It has little to no muscle. It looks sick. And so some of the unseen effects is that there might be a high concentration of minerals in his body, a toxic buildup that could be making the animal sick, or it's a toxic buildup that could actually lead to death. Drinking poor quality water leads animals to eating less, and it stunts the animal's growth. So if we go back and we actually compare these two animals, it's no comparison. Which animal do you want to have a steak from? Which animal do you want to have hamburger made out of? You definitely want it to be this big guy over here. You don't want this fella here that looks sick in the meat supply. And that can cost producers if they are attempting to sell animals and they have low water quality. Okay, I'm going to leave these up. You can pause these, write them down. 1, 2, 3, 5. You have control, so you can pause, and we're going to move forward. All right, so what differences are noticeable in these two pictures? We're going to, one more time, I'm going to disappear, count to 30, and let you guys come up with the differences you see in the access to water quality. So, now guys, this is how, and these are some of the differences between these two photographs. First, we are seeing clean, purified, and filtered water in a modern home with indoor plumbing, a system to return used water to be collected and reused, and most importantly, easy access to that clean, purified, and filtered water. So on the other side, we've got, this is water that's being collected from a river or a stream. It's outdoors. There's no indoor plumbing that we can see. The animals and the humans are using the same water at the same time. And we all know that what animals like to do all over the place. And there's no way of filtering and purifying the water in an easy way. And it's also difficult to access. So, which individual do you think has the better quality of life? The one on the left or the one on the right? Guys, there are millions of people all over the world who deal with water quality in this situation. Whether it's collecting it from a well or collecting it from a river or a stream, their water isn't the same quality that we have here. Even across the United States, our water systems are not equal. And so we have to take an idea that we have to know that water quality impacts our quality of life. And we have to try to figure out what are the best ways to help increase quality of life to get access to clean, filtered, purified water for individuals all over the world to help improve plant and animal agriculture, as well as increasing the quality of life of human beings. So, to wrap up in our last few minutes, what impact does water quality have on plant and animal and human life? These are things that you should write down, okay? First, plants, animals, and humans all require water to survive. If the condition of the water is not suited for a particular use, then the quality of the life of a plant, animal, or human could be compromised. Second, water is the most essential nutrient for livestock production, and it is needed for numerous processes such as regulation of body temperature, growth, digestion, reproduction, metabolism, the lubrication of joints, using the bathroom / excretion, and in eyesight. And plants require water to produce their own food. It is the main ingredient in photosynthesis, besides sunlight. And poor water quality can be detrimental to the life process of any plant. So, guys, that ends our lesson for today. You will have a number of things to work on for the rest of the week and a quiz at the end of the week. Thank you and have a great day.